All right, greetings, family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael, Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful, second night of the week? Some would say it's the first night, but actually this is the second night of the week, which is right after 9 o'clock. It's 9 p.m. The night after Sunday. Excuse me. The night after Sunday, this is 9 p.m. And Sunday, this was Sunday, December 28th, 2025. This was Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Tonight is what we're at right now. Tonight is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation, meaning we have anything we want to talk about, according to knowledge and information, scripture, law. We can talk about it. If you got anything you want to write in the comments, you can. Excuse me. But suddenly, wait until as soon as I get started. That's when these yarns start to come. But right now, first thing we're gonna start with is prayer. But don't forget, this is this is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. We're here every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, the night after Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So we get ready to start off with a prayer and we'll go from there. Other than that, bliss be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Bliss be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Bliss be the Father of Israel. Bliss be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, excuse me, happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us so we can help lead and guide others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We ask you to keep your arm protection around us, keep us in every way, help us in every way, and allow us to flourish in your way, your word, your ruach, and in your spirit. We ask you to help us in every way and also forgive us of all the trespasses, sins, and things that we, our ancestors, and our forefathers have done against you, your law, your word, and your Ruach, which is the Spirit. We ask you to forgive us of these things and help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Thank you, Father. Praise you, Almighty. All right. Greetings, everyone. How is everyone doing on this beautiful second night of the week? Last night was the first night right after the Sabbath. This is the second night of the week. And this is open conversation. Every Sunday we have open conversation. Um, at the moment, I don't have anything on my mind to speak on at the moment, but if anything that anyone in the chat room may want to say on anything, speak on anything, other than that, you know me, I'm gonna go through the scriptures and find something to speak on, whatever comes to mind. Um, but let me see. One thing I can think on. We know what time it is, right? We know what time it is in today's time, which is we in the last days. We're waking up. A lot of people are waking up to something, but they don't know what they're waking up to, right? Even though every day is spiritual, every day is spiritual, right? But everyone is waking up and they don't know what they're waking up to. And what I would like to share is that our time is now. Now, what I mean by our time is now, this book, which we call the Bible, is actually pertains to the children of Israel and the rest of the world, but mainly the children of Israel. And it was two I would say principles, but mainly I'm just gonna say two nationalities. One was Esau, and one was Jacob. Jacob spiritually was called Israel. I have to give it to you like that. Jacob physically, spiritually, Israel. All right. But Esau was the one that a promise was given to that the world is under right now. Okay, let me go ahead and put it like that then. The world is under the promise of Esau. All right. Now, what do you mean by promise of Esau? Esau was given a promise. He was given a blessing and a promise, right? A lot of people don't know what that promise is. A lot of people are looking for names and color. I'm trying to show you according to action, the actions of the prophecy. All right. Esau it was a promise given unto Esau. First, we got to understand the promise was given to Abraham. Let's look at the situation for what it is. The promise was given to Abraham. Greetings, J. Cargo and Athena. Broke. Greetings to you both. How are you doing over there on YouTube? But yeah, I just wanted to share with you. It was a promise given to Abraham to his children. This is what people fail to understand and realize. Thank you, Father, for bringing it the way it's coming. It was a promise given to Abraham. People fail to understand the promise that was given to Abraham and to his children. Now, I'm going to give you the difference and the understanding to the promises. I might call this the promises to the children of Abraham, or to the seed of Abraham. I might call that this tonight. But let me see. If anything ain't one to share, I'm doing good. Carter Day. I'm sorry. I'm make sure I got your name straight. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. What I wanted to share with you is that the promise was given through Abraham to his seed. A lot of people only look at Israel, or should I say Jacob, spiritually called Israel, and they're only looking at that seed. But it was a seed. It was three promises given. There was a promise given to Ishmael, a promise given to Isaac. No, it wasn't a promise. It was coming through Isaac. The promise through Isaac was Jacob and Esau. Those was the three main seeds that was given a promise to. All right. Now, we can go and look at through Hagar. I really don't want to go there because everybody can understand. It was going to be 12 tribes or 12 nations or 12 children going to come through Hagar, which is going to be of the Ishmael seed, right? Seed of Ishmael, right? How many, if you know the Bible, you know what I'm talking about. So they had a promise from the Creator, right? That's the tribe of Ishmael. To me, I look at that being the Muslims, or the ones with the Muslim quote unquote religion. I don't know if that's fact, but I'm just telling you that's my point of view. That's my point of view. I don't know if that is, but I do know that there was a promise given to Hagar for Ishmael, right? But where I'm going is Esau and Jacob. All right? This is where I'm going. Now, those are the three of the which is of the seed of Abraham. These are the main three that was giving a blessing to, that was the Creator said that through his seed all nations are going to be blessed. I like to say blessed. I don't like saying be blessed. Blessed through those seeds. All right. So as I'm sharing now, since I spoke on Ishmael first, let's go ahead. Let's go look at Ishmael real quick, and just to get. I don't want to say get him out the way, but just the promise that was given to Ishmael. Let me go ahead and hear real quick. And I'm gonna break down the promises tonight. Okay. Okay. Let's go back over here at Genesis. Okay, we got 14 and 15. 15 is when the promise of was to Abram, and 15 about what's going on today and what happened in Egypt. It was two promises, or shall I say, two blessings that happened at that time in Genesis 15. The second one that was spoken of I'm not going there first. I'm about to go there. Here we go. Sarah and Hagar, 16. Chapter 16, right here. We're going to start over here. I'm gonna read on down. Start at chapter 16. We don't go back to 15 when we get to Esau. Well, actually, when we get to Jacob. But first we're gonna go with the elders. We're gonna go to the elders down to the younger, which is we're gonna go with Ishmael, Esau, then to Jacob. All right, within the whole the whole information of tonight. All right. So right now we're gonna go to chapter 16. Genesis chapter 16, verse 1 says, Sarah and Hagar. Now, now Sarai, Abram's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. Verse 2. And Sarai said unto Abram, Behold, now Yah has restrained me from bearing. I pray thee, go in unto my maid, it may be that I may obtain children by her. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarai. So he listened to his wife because she gave her unto him, right? She gave Sarai, Hagar unto him. So that was given. See, and you got to understand when it comes to a man having more than one wife, it's a man's choice to do it. But as you can also see, the women gave the man that other wife at these times as well. All right. So verse 3. And Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, and the Egyptian, after Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abraham to be his wife. So she was with them after 10 years. She went ahead and let her be his wife. So he had two wives, as we can see. Let's say that again. Verse 3. And Sarai, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abraham to be his wife. So a concubine is a wife, as we can see. A concubine is a wife. Verse 4, Genesis 16 and 4. And he went in unto Hagar, and she conceived, and when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. Her mistress was despised in her eyes. Now, it depends on the way we want to look at what the despise was. In her eyes, she was despised by her mistress. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. My wrong be upon thee. My wrong be upon, how your wrong be upon him. I have given my maid into thy bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eye. It's like, oh, so you got me pregnant by him. Looked like that she was despised at her because she got pregnant. Yah judge between me and thee. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleases thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her face. So let's look at how this situation went down. Actually, going into the situation of the children, but I'm trying to understand right here, verse 3. And Sarai, Abraham's wife, verse 3 again, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, after Abram had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abraham to be his wife. And he went in unto her, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. She was despised by her. And Sarai said unto Abram, My wrong be upon thee. I don't know how her wrong gonna be upon him. How's she gonna point blaming him when she did that? My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid unto thy bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. Yah judge between me and thee. The Father judged between me and you, which is her and her husband. But Abram said unto Sarai, Behold, thy maid is in thy hand. Do to her as it pleases thee. And when Sarai dealt hardly with her, she fled from her. So when she seen that, she said, "Okay, yeah, she still she still had to do what Sarai said because she was under Sarai, but she could tell that she didn't like her anymore, or if she ever did." Verse 7. An angel speaks to Hagar, and the angel of Yah found her by a fountain of water in the wilderness, by the fountain in the way of Shur. By the fountain in the way of Shur. I can get back to that. Right? In the way of Shur. I mean, out there by Shur. She was at a fountain. Verse 8. And he said to Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? Right? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. She said, I flee from my mistress Sarai. And the angel of Yah said unto her, Return to thy mistress and submit thyself under her hands. Go there and submit yourself under her hands. Number one is, as far as I'm concerned, what I'm seeing is you was wrong. Whether you despise her or not, you were still her mistress, so you belong to her. That's what I'm seeing at this point, right? And the angel of Yah said unto her, Return to thy mistress and submit thyself under her hand. Number 10. And the angel of Yah said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. You see that? You see what says the woman's seed? It's not the woman's seed, it's the child that's with the woman. This right here is your key to Genesis chapter 3, verse 15. Multiply the woman's seed. The woman's seed is the child. No different than today. The child is with the woman. She's not with the man, is not in the household today. So this is your key right here. And the angel of Yah said unto her, Return to thy mistress and submit thyself on her hand. Verse 10. And the angel of Yah said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. See, woman don't have a seed. It's the seed of the child with the woman. Father always show you what you need to know to go with scripture. I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of Yah said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and thou shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because Yah has heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. He telling him what type of man he's going to be. His hand will be against every man. This is his blessing. This is Ishmael's blessing. And every man hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. He should dwell in the presence of all his brethren. And she called the name of Yah that spake unto her, and she called the name of Yah that spake unto her, Thou Yah seest me, for she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Let me say this again. 13. And she called the name of Yah that spake unto her, Thou Yah seest me. For she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. Bir Lahai Roi. Behold, between Kadesh and Bered. Kadesh, Kadush, Kadush, Kadesh and Bered. Then Ishmael is born. Verse 15. And Hagar bare Abram a son, and Abram called his son, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abraham was 86 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abraham. So he was 86 years old. 86 years old. So he was 4 or 5 years older, between 4 and 6 years older than Isaac. He was 4 to 6 years older than Isaac. Okay, but this right here is his blessing. I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. This right here is the key. That it should not be numbered. And the angel of Yah said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, shall call his name Ishmael, because Yah has heard thy affliction. And he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. All right. Now, I look at this as not being really physical, but mostly spiritual. Because what I'm seeing here is mostly, like I said, that quote unquote what they call religion. So I see this more spiritual than physical. So this is my point of view, but that's his blessing. His blessing said, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of Yah said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, and shall bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael, because Yah has heard thy affliction, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. All right. I remember somewhere, I remember he had 12, supposed to had 12 brethren or 12 children. Ishmael had 12 brethren or 12 children. But after this, when circumcision came about, after this. Let's look over here real quick. Okay, I'm just trying to see if I can run up on. Okay, Ishmael to be a nation. Here we go. Right here, we're going to start over here. We're going to start over here at Genesis 17. We'll start at 17, verse 15. Genesis 17, verse 15. Genesis 17 and 15. We'll go here. And Yah said unto Abraham, this is Sarai's name changed. Sarai's name changed, the promise of Isaac. Okay. This is at verse 15. And Yah said unto Abraham. So I guess he didn't change his name at this point. And Yah said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. Shall her name be, shall I say. All right. 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son, and give thee a son of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. Okay, let me go ahead and put this in. And Yah said unto Abram, in verse 15, Abraham, and for Sarai, Thou should not call her name Sarai, but Sarah should be her name, shall her name be. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. You see that? Kings of people. Kings with an S. Not one king, kings. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? So I guess I was wrong. I'm thinking that if he was 86 when he had, I'm thinking but she was 90, not Abram. So I was wrong. She was 90 years old when she bared, and he was so Ishmael's about what is it, about 20 years? 20 years? What is this going on over here? So Ishmael is about 20 years older than Isaac. Excuse me. Excuse me. But let's keep it moving. She was 90. I'm thinking that he was like about he was 86, but still she being 90. So she was 90 when she bared Isaac. But let's keep it moving. Just check it out. And Abraham said in verse 18, that is, wait a minute, let me go set back 17. Then Abraham fell upon his face and laughed and said, it said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear? She was 90. So still, if she was 90 and Hagar, he was still but no, he was 86. But if he's 100, it's still we going up. We're still going up. 86, 96, that's 10. 86, 96 plus 4, that's 14. So he was anywhere between 14 to 16 years older than Isaac. He's 14 to 16 years older than Isaac, anywhere between that time. That is 90 years old bear. And Abraham said unto Yah, oh, that Ishmael might live before thee. And Yah said, Sarai thy wife shall bear thee a son. I like get the cradle in. And Yah said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son, indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. He told him who to call him. She's gonna have him, and you're gonna call him Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant. See, he bear the covenant with Ishmael, but the son with Isaac is an everlasting covenant. This is the one that we're gonna come into. And with his seed after him. You see that? Meaning us. We are the everlasting. See, we have the everlasting covenant. See, it was three of Abraham's sons that had a covenant. I just read Ishmael. Now we're gonna go to Ishmael to be a nation. We're gonna go into that now. But first, we just got to read where he said that the everlasting covenant is gonna be with Israel, which is Jacob spiritually. Jacob is dead Israel, or those who are in between, but Israel is those who are the anointed and those who have awoken. That's spirit. That's why I say all this is spiritual. Well, I'm about to go somewhere, but let's keep it moving. Verse 20, to Ishmael to be a nation. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him a fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. There you go, 12 princes. There, I knew it was in there somewhere. 12 princes. Let me get this real quick. 12 princes. I knew I remember seeing it. Shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. There we go. There we go. Again, verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. You see here? This right here is Ishmael. Genesis 17 and 20. Actually, Genesis 16, verse 8 to 12, and, and Genesis 17 and 20. Actually, 19 and 20, truthfully. Because this is what the creator said that he went from one, yep, from 19 to 20. But my covenant will I establish. See, but my covenant I will establish with Isaac, which Sarai shall bear unto thee at his set time in the next year. You see that? I will establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time next year. And he left off talking with Abraham. He left off talking with him, and Yah went up from Abraham. Bam. That was the conversation. So 20 and 21 is Ishmael and Isaac, right? But the key is the blessing was with Ishmael. The other blessing is through Isaac, not with Isaac, but through Isaac. It's with Isaac. The covenant is established with Isaac, but with Isaac was the two children that he had, which the two boys he had, right? Which was Jacob and Esau. So we see four here, Ishmael, but Isaac had two come through him. So Isaac is still one, but the other two is Jacob and Esau. So you're really looking at Ishmael and his 12 children. Then you had Isaac and Jacob. So right now, the root, I would say the root is Abraham. The blessings of the seed of Abraham. Or should we say, the seed of Abraham. Just going the seed of Abraham. That's it. The seed of Abraham. This is what this is about tonight. Right? All right. So now we understand, and we understand that Ishmael is to be an exceedingly nation, an exceedingly great nation, right? Verse 20, it says again, for as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation. You see that? Now, when we talk about the 24 elders, my thoughts, the 24 elders in Revelations, you got 12 of Ishmael and you got 12 of Israel. Ishmael and Israel, 12 and 12 is 24. That was the 24 elders to me. That's my thoughts. Now you can take it and run with it, but that's my thoughts at this point in time. So, but we see when the creator speaks, we gotta look at from when he speaks until the time it comes to pass. So that was the first blessing and covenant that he made was with Ishmael, was one. But the whole covenant is with Abram. Abram is number one. The whole thing is through Abram. So Ishmael got a blessing. He's gonna be a great nation through 12 his children. And we heard his blessing. And it talk about what type of person he gonna be. Ishmael, because Yah has heard thy voice in the end of 11. And it said, and he would be a wild man, his hand would be against every man, and every man's hand against him. And he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. See that? So that's Ishmael, and then he's gonna have 12 of his children through him. So that's number one down. Number two, Esau. Ishmael, we just got through reading about Isaac, but we know Isaac had, well, we can bypass it, but it just said, Ishmael to be a nation, but then it said, but my covenant will I establish with Isaac. He established with Isaac because his covenant is with Isaac. And the next two is the covenant that's going to happen through Isaac, which is Jacob and Esau. And this is where that we're at right now, where the world is under the domination, not to say denomination, the domination, the domain of Esau first. And now we're going to come into it. That's the reason why it's saying right here. That's why the two are one at this point in time. But my covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarai shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. Right? So, and he left off talking with Abram, 22, Genesis 17:22. And he left off talking with Abram, with him, and Yah went up from Abraham. 23. And Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were brought with his money, every male among the men. Hold on, he took Ishmael. Hold on. His son, and that was born in his house, and all that was brought with his money, every male, every male, every man among the men, every male among the men. See that? Every male among the men, every male among the men. All right. What's up, G1? What's happening? I ain't seen you in a minute. I'm glad to see you, bruh. Every male among the men of Abraham household, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day as Yah had said unto him. 24, Genesis 17:24. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And Ishmael his son was 13. Do I get this? Ishmael his son was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son, and all the men of his house born in the house and born and bought with money of the stranger were circumcised with him. All right. So this was actually chapter 17 was actually about the covenant of circumcision. This is when Sarah's name was changed. Sarai's name was changed to Sarah. And this is when Ishmael was known, that was going to be known that Ishmael was going to be a nation. And also, but the covenant was with Isaac. And by the covenant being with Isaac, that covenant was between Isaac's two sons, which is Abraham and Esau and Jacob. So that's when Ishmael was born. And we went into 17 at 16, 17. So now we got past the first point. We got past the one of Abraham's seed, which is the covenant was through, that Ishmael was going to be a great nation in the earth. Now, through Isaac is what the Creator said he established his covenant, right? But my covenant will I establish. That's the key. Establish is a key word here. Will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year, the next following year. Now, he told this to Abraham. I don't know if he told her that, but he said that was going to happen. So, Ishmael was an exceedingly great nation. And by Ishmael being exceedingly great, he's a great nation today. Now, I would like to say, when it comes to I'm just going to say spiritual aspect. I don't like saying religious. According to the spiritual aspect, Ishmael is a great nation today, which they would say Islam, Muslim, however they want to call it. But in that point of view, this is how Ishmael is a great nation today, according to the spiritual or religious aspect. All right. That's how Ishmael is great today, not only by who he is as a people, but by his religion that has spread as well through other people. So that's spiritual. Now we're going to go to Esau, Genesis chapter 25, the birth of Esau and Jacob. Now we're going to go to understand these are the three. We just got through with one, which is Ishmael. Isaac had Jacob and Esau, which is coming up right here. The birth of Esau and Jacob, which is coming up in Genesis 25, starting at verse 19. All right. This is how it was established through okay. I guess we can go ahead and finish up with Ishmael real quick. The descendants of Ishmael, we'll go ahead and finish that up real quick. We ain't going to leave them out. Even though we got to his point, we'll go with the descendants and starting at verse 12. Okay, we'll start at 11 because this is the blessing of Isaac, that the death and burial of Abraham, starting at verse 7, from Isaac. Abraham's, all right, I guess I'll start beginning at 25 real quick because I got a little bit of time, just a little bit of time, because I'm going to go ahead and hit both of these up by the seeds of Abraham, the seeds of Abraham, the seeds of Abraham. And I'm giving up the main purpose of where we are today. So we'll start at 25 and 1. Start at 25 and 1. Then again, Abraham took a wife. Okay, we got Rebecca. Okay, the end of 24 is when Rebecca ended up being Isaac's wife. So we're going to say start at 25 and 1. Uh, then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bare him Zimram and Jokshan and Medan and Midian and Ishbak and Shakur and Yokshan Yokshan begot Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were Ashurum and Letishim, Letishim, and Leomum. That's my best way I can say it. Verse 4. And the sons of Medan, Ephah and Iphar, and Hanak, and Abadiah, and Eldah. All these were the children of Keturah. And Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac, but unto the sons of the concubines, which Abraham had, the concubines with an S there, which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son. So, as we can see, he had other sons and children, but Isaac was the blessed seed. Let's finish that up again. Verse 6. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac his son, while he yet lived eastward into the east country. Death and burial of Abraham. Verse 7. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he had lived 100 threescore and 15 years. 100 threescore and 15 years. 100 160, that's 160, 70, 175 years. 175 years. Then Abraham gave up the ghost. What gave up the ghost? You know, he passed. Abraham passed and died in a good old age. That's 175 years. An old died a good old age, an old man and full of years, and was gathered to his people. Verse 9. Genesis 25:9. And his sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Makah, Makaphala, Makaphala, that's the best way I can say it, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zohar, the Hittite, which is before memory. The field which Abraham purchased of the sons of Heth. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. So both of them was buried there. Verse 11. And it came to pass after the death of Abraham that Yah blessed his son Isaac. And Isaac dwelt by the well of Laharai. All right. Now the descendants of Ishmael. Verse 12. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bare unto Abraham. Verse 13. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names according to their generations. The firstborn, name their generation. The firstborn, Ishmael, Nebajoth, Nebajoth, and Kedar, and Adbil, and Mibsam. 14. And Mishma, and Dumah, and Massa. 15. Hedar, and Timar. Yetur, Nafshi, and Kidmah. These are the sons of Ishmael. And these are the names by their towns. There was towns named after. And by their castles, 12 princes, according to their nations. Make sure I get that. Don't forget, Ishmael going to be living among his brethren. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. 137 years. He was 137 years old. Okay. And he gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people. Verse 18, and they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest towards Assyria. And he died in the presence of all his brethren. That's what he said. What was said. Said he's going to be in the presence of his brethren. Now the birth of Esau and Jacob. Now that was Ishmael. That was the first bliss seed that the Creator gave, or that said that he was going to bliss, and what was to happen with them and his 12 children. And he said they're going to grow together, right? Now we're going to go with the birth of Esau and Jacob. The birth of Esau and Jacob, starting at verse 19. All right. Here we go. There we go. Esau and Jacob. Now, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. These are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. When he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandan Aram. She's a Syrian of Pandan Aram. The sister to Laban, the Syrian. 21. And Isaac entreated Yah for his wife, because she was barren, meaning she didn't have any children. Because she was barren. Did we get everything? And Yah was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. He's entreated of him, which is of Isaac, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. Now she became pregnant. Verse 22, and the children struggled together within her. So now it was a process of time. They started to grow. They started to struggle together within her. And she said, if this be so, if this be of the Creator, why, if this be so, and the children struggled together within her. And she said, if this be so, why am I thus? Why is this happening? And she went to inquire. A lot of people think that both of them did. And she went to inquire. So she had to go inquire from a prophet. She had to inquire from a prophet, because the prophet is, and let the Creator talk to her himself. So she had to inquire from a prophet. She went to inquire of Yah. And Yah said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. Two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. Now I'm gonna tell you my point. This thing keep cutting. On back. Now, when it says people shall separate from two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and one people shall be stronger than the other people. Now I'm gonna tell you from my point of view, and I'm just being honest about it. The stronger one is Esau. Why do I say that? They are the warriors throughout the earth as a unit. Now, individually, we strong, we big, we conquer individually. But when it comes to them as a group, as a people, look at how Esau has went around and by war thou shalt conquer, which I'm getting ahead of myself. This is when this is prophecy of what's going to happen. We have to have an understanding of what's to come. If we don't have an understanding of what's to come, we're deceiving ourselves from the facts. And we can see it today. Excuse me. But here we go. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder, now it says, and the elder shall serve the younger. Now, even though the elder is not telling us who's going to be stronger, but we can see who's the stronger in the earth by the means of how they do. Number one, the Greek and the Roman Empire. They have gained the strength, but the Creator is going to intervene for us. And we know that, we see that happening now. The elder shall serve the younger. Verse 24. And when her days was to be delivered was fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And the first, where we at? All over like a hairy garment. And they call his name Esau. And after came out, and after that came out his brother, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare him. He was 60 years old. 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. But Rebekah loved Jacob. Esau sells his birthright. Okay. Now, remember, there was a blessing on both of them through Isaac. Esau sells his birthright. Now, right here, 29 through 34. And Jacob sold pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. That's what Esau said. Let me go ahead and get these words together. Feed me, that's I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Sound like there's a cost for everything, don't it? Especially at that time. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? See, that's what he was thinking. And it was something that my first teacher shared when we looked at this. He said he could have went out there and asked his mother, Mom, I need some food. Well, he could have went out and got some, but he wanted that red pottage. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. Jacob, swear to me this day unto him, And Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. Mm. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage and of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. And he did eat and drink. And he rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. Now, this says Yah's covenant with Isaac confirmed. Now, this is the creator confirming his covenant with Isaac. Now, he got now Isaac had both children. Let's see what the covenant was for. Because remember, it was the creator made a covenant through Abraham and said, through his seed, all children of the earth going to be blessed. Ishmael, we just got through reading. Ishmael was going to be an exceedingly great nation. He's going to bless Esau exceedingly. Not Esau, Ishmael exceedingly, and he said he's gonna have 12 children that was gonna, and he's gonna be among his brethren. That happened. Now, over here in chapter 26, let's get Yah's covenant with Isaac confirmed. Let's get that together real quick. It says, therefore was a famine, say, and there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham and Isaac. Let me rephrase that. And there was a famine in the land, besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Amalek, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And Yah appeared unto him and said, go not down into Egypt, dwell in the land which I shall tell thee. All right, don't go down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Sojourn in the land that I will sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed, see, unto thee and unto thy seed, I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. Here we go. That's the key. Confirm. I will give so say, and Yah appeared unto him and said, go not down. This is verse 2. Go not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Verse 3. Sojourn in this land. I will be with thee and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. Okay, that's key right here. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth, here we go, be blessed. There you go, right there. Key verse right there. Right there. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries, Now he didn't say which seed. Now this is what I'm trying to get people to understand. This is the reason why I don't know it just came out today the way it came out. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. See, when the Christ said the seed of Abraham, you got to understand the three main ones he talked about is the ones we're talking about right now: Ishmael, Esau, and Jacob. And when you look, and that's what I'm breaking down tonight. I'm breaking down tonight the seeds of Abraham, who he actually multiplied the earth to. Thy seed in all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. All the nations of the earth by these three. But the last two is through Isaac, which is in Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. So he's confirming it with Isaac right there, with Jacob and Esau. See, a lot of people just looking at Jacob, or should I just say Israel, 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 Israel. Ishmael set aside. Esau and Jacob is the two that he's referring to right now. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice. You see that? Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge. Your father did that. My commandments, my statutes, and my law. You see that? This right here is powerful, whether people understand that or not. Genesis 21, 1 through 6, 1 through 5, very powerful. 25, 26, very powerful chapters, if you have an understanding. Now, the dispute with unbelief. Okay, I think we're done at this point right here. Might as well go ahead and mark this, because this right here was the key. To Isaac. Yah's covenant confirmed with Isaac. Now, yep. Key points. Now we'll move over here to 27. So, we got hour and 8 in. We're gonna go. We just start off a little bit with a covenant between Isaac and Amalek. The father already gave his covenant. Amalek, that's coming up. That was because of they tried to take I think what they tried to take Rebecca at the time. A dispute about the whales. Okay, a dispute about whales. I remember that too. And they covered the whales up. But we're not gonna go there. This is about the seed. So we already just seen Ishmael. We got the establishment with Isaac. We got the birth of the two boys, the two boys that all this is going to be coming through, which is Abraham, which is Isaac and Jacob, Esau and Jacob. Where my mind at? Now, chapter 27, where the blessings come. We're gonna start it off because I got a lot to go through, but I'm just giving you the understanding of the blessings first. That's where I'm at right now. So right now I'm gonna take it from here. Jacob obtains Isaac's blessing. I'm gonna start off with part two with that part. I want to go straight into the blessing of Esau and Jacob. Now, let me give you a little bit of commentary. The reason why we got to look at the seed of Abraham today. We just read where where the establishment of Ishmael was that 20, nope, excuse me. Where was I at? Yeah, Ishmael to be a nation. We just shared that in chapter 16 and 17 of Ishmael being a nation, when the Father had already promised Abraham in 15, which I didn't get to, I didn't go to, because the promise was already established to Abraham in chapter 15, when it says Yah's promise to Abram. After these things, the word of Yah came unto Abram in a vision, saying, this is chapter 15, Genesis 15. Came to Abram, saying, I am thy shield and thy exceedingly great reward. And Abraham said, Yah, what wilt thou give me, seeing that I go childless, and the steward of my house is this Eliezer, whatever, Eliezer, what have you, of Damascus. And Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. And behold, the word of Yah came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he shall come forth out of thine own bowels, shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now towards heaven and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. Now this the creator talking to Abraham about this how his seed is going to be. 6. And he believed in Yah, and he counted it to him for righteousness. And he believed in Yah, and Yah, he said, he counted it to him for righteousness. That means he believed in what he said, so he counted it for righteousness. See, positive and negative has a point. When you're negative, it's actually of evil. When you have a negative thought, when your mind is set on negative, it's of evil. When your mind is set on positive, doing, that's of righteousness. Just the fact he even believed in him, the Father counted it to him for righteousness. Now, this is the prophecy of Israel's bondage. This is what I shared a little earlier. I was going to come back to this to show you where we at today. But this right here, what we just shared, was from 1 to 6, was the promise to Abram. That was his promise there. We'll get back to now the prophecy of Israel's bondage later. Now we get back to that later. Now we went to Abraham, so we know where his promise started at, which is the beginning from 1 through 6 of Genesis 15. All right? Now, let's keep it going. So now we're at chapter 27, because now we went from Ishmael to Isaac. We just went to Abraham, showing that he already told him about his blessing going to be as the stars of heaven. Now we're going to get to, and also the prophecy that was spoken of in 25, verse 22 through 27, when it spoke of the two nations in the womb. One should be stronger than the other, which is, this is my point of view. Esau is the strongest because it comes to the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, the police, the judges, all the stuff that we have in the world today. By them being set up, they're going to be stronger than us at this time. But then it says, and the elders shall serve the younger. See, one's going to be stronger, but they're going to serve us. Just because they're stronger don't mean that we're going to serve them totally. They're going to end up serving us, because why? We're spiritual. And we carry the law. That's why. And I believe, I'm saying my belief now, all this is spiritual. When it comes to Ishmael being of the Muslim, Islamic, whatever nation, spiritual. When it comes to quote unquote Christianity, on the religious point where they're at now, Not only Christianity, church and state. Let me put it like that. Church and state. Right now, they're in charge. But we are coming up with the law. This is where they're going to serve us because we're going to be in charge according to the law. This is with understanding. Now, as I was saying a few moments ago, now we're back to 27. Let me see where we at. It's 1:15. I got an hour and 15 minutes in. So I'm going to try to take it short. I'm going to give you a shortcut. Then I'm going to come back in part 2 and come back into it. So my shortcut is this. Esau and Jacob. And as I was sharing before I went back to Abram, which actually brought me back to the point of where I was saying that the promise was of Abram, which was changed to Abraham, was through his seed. His seed was Ishmael, that was one, but the exceedingly great promise is through Esau and Jacob. Through who? Isaac. Now, when he said his seed, he didn't make a distinction. But the distinction is all nations are going to be blessed. How? Through the situations that happen. Number one is Esau going to come in and take over first. Put everything in order worldwide in the way that he had it in order. Now, I'm not saying it's good because you got to remember the Creator's word is the Creator's word, the blessings and the curses. When the Creator says his word, it's what it is. So no matter what, Esau going to take over according to the curse. Christianity is the curse. Excuse me. Christianity is the curse of today. Our religion, church and state, is the curse. People don't know it, they don't get it, but they deep into it, ain't they? Christianity. So Christianity is the curse, which is worldwide today. Besides Muslim, you got some other little stuff trickling around here and there, but they still blasphemy, which is still of the curse of the Creator, because the Creator's service of His word is His law, and Israel carries the law. Israel is going to be the one that carries the law totally. So to break everything down at this point, Genesis 27 starting at verse 37. 27 starting at verse 37. Nope. Let's just start at 36. And he said, is not his name rightly? And this is another point about names. This is another point about names. 27:36. This is what people fail to realize. All these Hebrew Israelites running around. His name is Yah, Yahuwah, Yahweh, and Yahweh, and all this and that. It ain't about the actual name. It's about the law. This is what people fail to realize. But what it said right here in chapter 27, Genesis 27:36. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, which he didn't take it. He sold it. And he know he sold it, but he told his father he took it. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And this is another thing I've been trying to get everybody to understand. Y'all on money. Y'all, the world is on money. Y'all looking for fiat. Y'all looking for the dollar bill, euro, whatever else. He sustained us with, I told you, law, land, air, and water, gold, substance, gold, silver, jewels. That's our blessing. This money stuff is something that Esau has, that all y'all are under, and y'all can't even see past it. But hey, I've been trying to warn y'all for the longest. Y'all gonna see in due time. But again, what it says, I have given to him for 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? 38. And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He lifted up his voice and he cried. Right? 39. Here go the blessing, 39 and 40. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, This is the blessing that Esau is over today. Starting at this point, 39 to 40 is where Esau is at today, over the whole earth. Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, everywhere you go in the earth, the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven, from heaven, from above, the dew of heaven from above. Skyscrapers, everywhere we go. If you see all these different things, that means everywhere you go, from the land to the heavens, they got everything at this point. Verse 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. By war, to break it down in layman's term, and by war shalt thou live. Everywhere Esau went, when it comes to the Greeks and the Romans, I don't care what name you gave them, both of them Esau. Both of them Esau. And this is how they took over. And by thy sword, by war, shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass. You didn't say you're going to serve? What did it say over here in 25? What did it say over here in 25? Hold on. In 23, it says 23. And Yah said unto her, Two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. You see that? Let's break it back over here to 40. 27 and 40. And by thy sword shalt thou live. That's stronger. That's the stronger right there. And shall serve thy brother. And that's the second point of that, what was said in 23, 25, verse 23. And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. That's when you're going to have the dominion of the earth, of the seven continents. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. When you have the dominion, now you're going to come in charge. You're taking over everywhere you go. See, at one time, we was in charge. Everybody's in charge at a certain point. Israel was in charge. Solomon was in charge. Every nation had their own place in the earth when they was in charge. But who took over? I'm saying Esau, but we can just say the people in charge. The people in charge is spiritually Esau. The people in charge is, I'm saying spiritually. See, a lot of people too busy looking for skin color. Oh, this person, that person. I'm looking at everything spiritual. Esau's in charge now spiritually, and there's many nations under his rule. Many nations. When you go to the army, you become part of Esau. When you become part of Christianity, you become a part of Esau. When you become a part of any demon nations, which I call denominations, you become part of Esau. Until you come out from her, which is what I'm getting to, until you come out from among Esau, which is among, and get into your private office, you still are part of Esau's government. People don't get it. See, people looking for the right thing in the wrong places. It's right here in the book. Everybody looking all over the world for this and that, and they can't see it's right in front of them. Right in the book. And again, it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, by war shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. This happened first. Then when it said the first should be last and last should be first. The first one, what shall I say? The first one that got the dominion, excuse me, let me rephrase that. The first one that got his blessing got is last. The one who got the blessing last became first. Esau got his blessing last, but he is in charge first. Got the dominion of the earth first. The one who got the blessing first got the dominion of the earth last. Now we'll go to check that part out. Now we had Jacob, which is Israel. Over here in verse 24. We'll start at Genesis 27:24 for Jacob, and then we're gonna leave part one. We're gonna come back with part two in a few moments. We're gonna do Jacob right now, then we're gonna come back and go over it, and then we're gonna go over the points of where we're at today in history, according to prophecy. That's what I like to do. So now in verse 24. Genesis 27, verse 24. And he said, art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, and my soul may bless thee. And he said, and he brought it near to him, and he did eat. Jacob, or Israel, Jacob at the time, brought it to Isaac, and Isaac did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. Verse 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, which is his clothing, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which Yah has blessed. You see? I keep telling y'all, the land is our blessing. Everybody looking for money. That's the way of this Caucasian. This is Esau's way. The Father gave us land, air, and water, which is actually law. And this is how we're supposed to live. Right now, with money, you can go out there and buy the poison at the store that they've been giving you and feeding you. But yet still, with the land, you can grow real food. That's what people fail to realize. We're supposed to be of agriculture. We're supposed to grow our own food, make our own clothes. We're supposed to be doing that for ourselves. But we don't know that. We have grown so deep into the Roman system that we think that's the only way to go. I remember eating some mulberries off a tree. Oh, you eat mulberries off a tree? Oh, no. That's where they come from. I grew up that way. Here in Detroit, before going to Mississippi, years later. And then Atlanta, and then back to Detroit. But now, again, verse 28, 27 again. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yah has blessed. And this is what people fail to realize. 28. Therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven. Here we go. Now, he gave us the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. But when it turned around with Esau, he said, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. See, he gave them the earth first. But when he blessed us, therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee. Serve who? Those who are in the Creator's way of life. And when you really look at this is a blessing unto those who are spiritual. Because you're going to have a lot of people out there that's going to be physical and mental according to the world. Let people serve. 28. Therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Verse 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Now I'm gonna make a quick assumption, not assumption, but a point of view right now. Let me share something with y'all. Look at what's being said right here. It says, "Let people serve thee." When you look at basketball team, football team, hockey, or whatever you want to say, the way that this is going at this point, you got the Chicago Bulls, but who is everybody serving and recognizing? Michael Jordan at the time. Now you got people serving and bowing, might well say, to LeBron. They see with us is one individual. They're not really praising the whole team. They're praising individuals with us. Can y'all see what I'm saying? Individuals. Okay, even though Barry Sanders was good, he didn't have a team behind him, but Barry Sanders did his thing in Detroit. He stood out because he was running, he was doing his thing. And he wasn't boastful, he wasn't proud. He was, as far as I was saying, he was righteous. Just man got out there, did his job, and he wasn't loud with it, he wasn't boastful, he wasn't nothing. But look at all the other, but still, no matter what, everybody have their own mentality, everybody have their own aura. I'm just gonna say that. Everybody have their own way. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's good in their own right. So, but when you look at these teams, you don't see nobody standing out in these teams. But besides the people that's put out there, Jordan. Now the Pistons was a team back in the day when at the time Jordan. The Pistons, even though you knew Isaiah, you knew Joe Dumars, you knew Bill Laimbeer, you knew the Spider, which was John Sally, and you knew the Worm, which was Rodman, and you knew the Microwave, which was Vinnie Johnson. You knew that was a team. They worked as a team. But other than that, when you look at these other teams, you had James Worthy. You can put out names. You had Magic Johnson. You had Kareem. Certain names on the team that stood out. You had Dr. J, Ivan Anderson, or I think it's Ivan Anderson, whoever his name is. But the whole point I'm getting at is certain names stood out with these teams. You don't have a full team that's getting props. You get so many names, but in Detroit, there was a team. But what I'm saying, there was as one man. But the point I'm getting at, if you look at what's saying right here for Israel, for Jacob, 28 and 29. Therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. The dew of heaven. Look at being praised, the heavenly, being heavenly host, the dew of heaven. Your name being praised and all this and that. Esau he don't stand out like that. He worked together as a unit, moving across the earth. The fatness of the earth as tanks. And the dew of heaven, planes and stuff. They work as a team. They strong as a team, but we are individually strong in the things that we do. Think about what I'm saying. I'm just giving you an understanding of what I see and the way I'm seeing it according to the scriptures, according to each individual. That's why I'm saying it said, therefore God, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. That's us living, each individual living good. We all should be living like this, but each individual, look how we act. Everybody going their own way, doing their own thing. Everybody's an individual island. They don't work together as a unit. Everybody want to do their own thing. It's hard having our people together, working together. Now, you get in the army, you got to go by what they got things set up. They got things set up. Look at a prison. And if you look at anything they do, look at it like a prison. When you got to go to a job, you got a job. Even our women. I remember I was just looking at a video not too long ago. Women they do their servitude unto their boss. A brother just shared some information on Facebook I was just looking at not too long ago. These women will go to their job and bow, might as well say, bow to their masters at the job. Because of their what? The almighty dollar, the paycheck. Majority of them, not all of them, because some of them, I'm telling you, enmity is right here in our face. Genesis 3:16, 3:15, 3:16. 3:14, 15, and 16, as far as I'm concerned, but mainly the enmity. He was talking to the serpent, which was spiritual, as far as I'm concerned, talking to the serpent about the seed of the woman, which is the child of the woman. That's the seed. We just got to read it in here. When the Creator told Hagar, thy seed shall be exceedingly. It wasn't talking about Hagar's seed. It was talking about the child, which is Ishmael's seed. You have to have understanding when you're reading. Ishmael. It told that when the Creator talked to, let me read it real quick before we keep moving. I just shared it earlier, but I'm going to hit it again right here. Thank you, Father. Genesis 16, verse 10 says, and the angel of Yah said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly. But it wasn't talking about her seed, it was talking about Ishmael, which is her son. That it shall not be numbered for multitude. It was talking about Ishmael, not about she got a seed. It's talking about Ishmael, the seed of Ishmael. So that's what I'm saying. When you get understanding, it takes studying and researching to have an understanding when you see it. But again, 29. Let people serve thee, like a lot of different stars, quote unquote stars. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. I just got through looking at Unstoppable last night with David Chappelle. He said he went over there to was the Middle East. He went over there to over there with the Arabs or what have you. He said they really loved you. I think he said he got paid $6 million. He kind of slipped it out a little bit. Might have been by mistake. Could have been, or who knows. But the point is, he said he went over there and I seen it last night. But the point is, he's standing on a stage that he's doing a lot of different. What I'm saying, he's getting paid. People know David Chappelle. See what I'm saying? Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. All the things that our people are doing. We are on Jacob's ladder. We, us as a people, whether you're doing good or evil, you're on Jacob's ladder at this point. At this point. And I'm only sharing this to give you an understanding. We're coming out of the curse. So we was in that for whatever purpose, well, not whatever, but for the purpose that we had to go through it for it, because of the Creator's word. But the point is, whether it's good or evil, all these people that's coming up in music. Now, you don't forget, you're going to be judged by the things you do. Good or evil. It's still your choice because you decided to make that choice. But the point is, the blessing still stands. Blessings or curse. Good or evil. The blessings still stand. That's what people fail to realize. So whatever your purpose is your job to get yourself right with the Creator. My main thing is I told the Creator going to bring me to the truth, what I'm doing right now. But my main thing is get you so you can have an understanding of the information that's being given. So with that, before we go into chapter 2, I just want to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be, waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. I'm showing the difference in Abraham's seed tonight, should I say. And we'll be right back. I'm going to pause Zoom. First, let me see who came in so I can give y'all some props. Over here on YouTube, live, we had Jay Carp. J Carp 627, thanks for coming through. Uh Kath, Catherine Day. Hi, how are you? I am. Catherine Day, 5743. Oh, I am Mormon. Okay, if you're Mormon, good. Everybody have their religion. It's all of the satanic system, which is of the Roman Empire. All of them. I don't care what religion you were in. The Creator may gave his laws, statutes, and judgments, just to share with you. And as say Athena Brooke, ha, have you had have you have a good day? You have a great day as well, Athena Brooke. I appreciate you. I appreciate love you for coming through. Let me see over here on Instagram. Let's see who we had come in. Got Tom Snyder. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while, my brother. Dennis Minus. How you doing? Glad you came through for a quick moment. Also, let me see who we have over here. Oh, shoot. I got it cut off. There we go. Can't see who this. There we go. Oh, Burger Yali, Christopher was watching. He was just watching for a minute. He didn't say anything, but Burger Ali, good to see that you came through, bro. So other than that, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Otherwise, good to see G Harvier, which is G1. He came through for a quick moment. Look like he's still here. Good to see that he came through. I haven't seen him for a few weeks. But other than that, on Zoom, other than that, we go to pause Zoom and I tell everybody else how you can get back in contact with me in a few moments. But everybody on Zoom, we'll be right back. We're gonna pause you quickly. And as we pause you, we'll be right back because you're the full version. So I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening there, your seeing. I will be right back. And always, peace. All right, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. Tonight is the night after December 28th, 2025. Yesterday, which was Sunday, which was December 28th, 2025. This is the night after the day of Sunday, December 28th, 2025. And this is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation tonight. This is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. And tonight we're at and we're sharing the information of the seed of Abraham. Excuse me, the seed of Abraham. And the Father blessed Abraham and gave him a promise through his seed. And he said his seed would be like the stars of heaven. Excuse me. His seed would be like the stars of heaven. And I see, just saying individually, I see the seed being spiritual. It's his spiritual seed, which is Abraham followed the Creator, and the Creator counted it to him for righteousness. You'll find that in Genesis 15, verse 6. He believed him, and he counted to Abraham, or Abram at the time, for righteousness. Now, that being said, that's spiritual to me. Now, I don't know if y'all can look at skin color and nations and names and stuff like that. To me, it's spiritual. And those spiritual beings, or what made it spiritual, is through the promise that the Creator said, and He said it through His seed. So Ishmael was the first seed that He gave blessings to, and we shared that in part one. You can go through that. I'm not gonna go through the whole full thing, but we shared that in part one about Ishmael, his seed, and what type of man that Ishmael would be. He established his covenant with Isaac. He established with Isaac, and Isaac had two sons, this was established through his two sons. His two sons is Esau and Jacob. Now, when you go through part one, I share this information to show you each point that the prophecies or the covenant was made at and made through. And then from Isaac, it was established through was through Esau and Jacob, excuse me. And through Esau and Jacob is what the world is going to be, not going to, because it's already happening. The whole world is going to be established through those two seeds. Now, those two seeds is Esau and Jacob. And we're back at 27. And I shared at the end of the end of part one, the blessing between both sons. So we're gonna start back at 27 because we also shared about Esau and Jacob. Matter of fact, let me just give that point. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. Just gonna get that point of view, just according to the blessing that we don't come from the womb, and then I'm gonna take you through the blessing later on, which is after the process of time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go through Genesis chapter 25. We're gonna start at the 21st verse. 21 through 20, 21 through 28. 21 through 28. We're going to start there and then we're going to go to Genesis chapter 27. All right. It says, 21, and Isaac entreated Yah for his wife because she was barren. That means that she couldn't have or she didn't have children. And Yah was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. See, Isaac went and entreated for his wife. Isaac did it, and then she conceived and started to get pregnant. She got pregnant. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. So you know this was a process of time. The process of time, they started to struggle within her as they grew up, as they grew older. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if this be so, if this be of the Father, why am I thus? Why am I like this? And she went to inquire of Yah. So a lot of people think they both did. Only she went to inquire of the Creator. Verse 23. This is Genesis 25 and 23. And I want y'all to understand something that's coming up. And Yah said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. The one people is Esau. And I'm going to prove that to you. We can see it today, but I actually proved it at the end of part one. But I'm also going to prove it today on part two, this part two. The one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. In the end, the elder going to serve us because we are the ones who are going to grow and be over the earth. And it says, verse 24, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. There were twins in her womb. And 25 says, and the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau, right? They called his name Esau. 26. And after that came out his brother, and there after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was threescore years old, which was 60 years old when she bare him. 27. And the boys grew. Now, process of time. The boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Now, let's get to the point of what we're sharing with right here. It's the blessing that's coming about. Now, we're going to go to Genesis 27, and we're going to start at 1. Start at the first verse, Genesis 27 and 1. We're going to read into the blessing. We're going to read from 1 to 40 into the blessings to have an understanding of how this happened, what happened, and then we're going to go into the prophecies of things that has happened, the reason why things are the way they are today, because of what was given from the Father, first to Ishmael, not first to Ishmael, but to Ishmael, then to Isaac. I'm going to say Isaac, which is Esau and Jacob. These are the two that the world is going to be demolished, not demolished, to have the dominion of the earth. Let me put it like that. The dominion of the earth between these two. And these two is of the blessing, or let me just say the curses and the blessing. The curses and the blessing. The curses first, which is we're coming out of the curse right now. The Greek and the Roman Empire is the curse, and I'm going to go through that as well in a few moments. Once we get past this, I'm going to go through the curse. Then I'm going to take you to understand how the curse is Esau and Christianity, and the blessings is Israel and the law, spiritual. I try to get people to understand this spiritually. A lot of people are too busy looking for skin color. It's all spiritual. Now, here we go. Jacob obtains Isaac's blessing. Chapter 27, Genesis 27 and 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, the eldest, his eldest son, and said unto him, My son. And he said unto him, Behold, here am I. And he said, Behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now, therefore, take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver and thy bow, and go out to the field, and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. Rebekah heard this. And Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. 6. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, Behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, Bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat, and bless thee before the Lord before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to this verse 8. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence two good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. Now, I want to share this real quick. Remember, the blessing was given to Rebekah, not to Rebekah and Isaac. When she went to inquire, he said, Two nations will be separated from thy bowels, and two manner of people. That was told to Rebekah. If it was told to both of them, it didn't say that. It was told to Rebekah, right? That's why she knew that this was important for her son, okay? Number 10, and thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Excuse me. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, Behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will fill me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. She knew it wasn't going to happen because she believed in it. She know when the creator, listen, a lot of people talk to the creator today, but they didn't have no belief in the creator's word in this day and time. At that time, when a prophet spoke, they knew it was coming to pass. They knew it was real, and they knew whatever was said was going to happen. People today don't even believe half of what even what this word right here say. People don't believe it. They go by doing what they want to do. So, thank you for coming over there on YouTube. When I get past this, I'm going to end up going in and read your information. But I'm glad you're here. For those who are coming through, I'm going to read your information shortly. Stay with me. Check the information out. Now, verse 13. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice, and go fetch me them. 14. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat such as his father loved. 15. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. 16. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. You know how we smooth? Smooth as his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob, Jacob. 18. And he came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here am I. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. Bliss me. I don't like saying be less. Bliss me. 20. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because Yah has brought it to me. Because Yah has brought it to me. You see that? And Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. Now, if you say, if he said, because Yah, right here, just think, so quick, my son. And he said, because the Lord Yah has brought it to me. What he brought him was the blessing. He talking about Yah brought it to me. He's right down in the field. He went and got it. Yah, his mother. Yah was in his mother by what was told to him. I look at it the best way I could, y'all. Yeah, I want to look at it like he lied on the creator. So y'all look at it the best way I can to see, because this blessing was for him. And Isaac said, verse 21, and Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. Genesis 27, verse 23. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. So that was a blessing right there. So he blessed him. He gave him a blessing right there. I don't know what kind it was. Gave him a quick blessing right there. And he said, Art thou my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless thee. Okay, so he's gonna bless him again, I guess. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. 26. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, and kiss me, my son. 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son, and I keep telling everybody this, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yah has blessed. Our blessing is in the earth. That's our wealth. The earth is our wealth. Land, air, water, trees, vegetation, animals. This is our blessing. This is what sustains us. Now, I'm not saying the funds that maybe the creator, it also said in the scriptures, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. Now, whatever they got that's laid up, I would say secondary, but whatever it is, if it's laid up for us to use for our benefit to get what we need, is laid up for us. But our key is the earth, the dominion of the earth. I keep sharing this But people's minds are so stuck on the money and I keep trying to tell y'all, everything is going from paper and plastic to digital. Everything going from paper and plastic to digital. When the digital is gone, when they cut the lights off, when they cut off power, what you got? All the funds and stuff that you had in the bank or whatever, what you got? Where's your proof? If you ain't got no land, you ain't got things, you ain't got nothing tangible, might as well say. Gold, silver, jewels, land, animals, something to barter with. You're really gonna be poor and broke. I'm seeing it and I'm saying it and I'm showing you according to prophecy. But let's keep it moving. 27 again. And he came near and kissed him and said, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which Yah has blessed. 28. Here go the blessings right here. Therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. The dew of heaven, the spirituality. We're spiritual. The dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Corn and wine. What we make wine out of? Grapes. What we make corn out of? You can make flour and things like that, as well as you can make liquor. All these different things that we can use for our benefit. Plenty of corn and wine, and right here, 29, like I shared a few minutes ago in part 1. 29. Let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. I done been through that. I done been through the blessings. And I'd have been through, not me being through, but other people have been through the curses that has cursed me, called itself cursing me. And I remember telling the brother, I ain't got to see it. Oh, I want to see it. You sure you want to see it? I said, I ain't got to see it. I know the creator's going to deal with it. I ain't got to worry about it. My wife been through it. See, these are individuals because when you see this here is individually when you're keeping the creator's laws and his word. This is spiritual. A lot of people think we're a nation and this. No, individually, and if we individuals, the remnant, that's why it talks about the remnant. When the remnant comes together, or when the remnant do whatever they're going to do, it's going to be, the blessing going to be upon them. Everybody looking at, it's going to be the whole nation. No, it's going to be plenty of people going to fall off because they too busy following the Caucasian doing what they doing. They already following them after the money. They're falling right into the pit. Why? Because that's where they're going. Everybody hungry for money. There's going to be a lot of poor in the land. Even if they get riches, they're going to end up poor because they don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do with it. They're going to go buy substance, not substance. They're going to buy things instead of things that they need. So a lot of people that's going to waste their wealth. And people don't even know right now. Trump is putting things in order. But the wicked don't even know it because they don't even understand. That's why they wicked. The wicked going to do wickedly. They can't even see because they don't know the scriptures. They don't understand what's happening. Things are moving on a whole different path because people are they're so busy going this way down the road of the wicked and the politicians when it's a different situation happening right now. Whether it's of good or evil, it's still of the Father. That's what people don't get. Whether it's of good or of the evil, it's still of the Father. It's the Father's doing. Those who is of the Father are going to see the difference and move in the way that it's supposed to move. I'm just a voice in the wilderness giving information. Like I shared what I would do. Now, again, 29. That was the point that I just shared. Now let me give you how I see this is happening already in this day and time. Like I said, let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Like I said earlier, in these basketball teams, a team, but who's standing out? You got you had Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, all these different names that stand out that they put out there. See, these are the people that people are bowing to and they're worshiping nowadays. You might as well say people worshiping all these singular people, Israelites mainly. They're being worshipped. But the point is what it says right here. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. I just shared with you. I just saw the Unstoppable with what's called him last night? David Chappelle. He went over to Saudi Arabia, wherever it was over there, and he said, man, they paid him well. You know what I'm saying? So we stand out. And y'all know we stand out. We're a great nation and we're a great many of people. But how many of us can stick together like the armies do? How many of us can stick together like the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines? The prison systems. See, and the reason why I say that it's spiritual is because once you join to them, when it said in Genesis 15, about the 400 years, they should be in bondage, not bondage. They should serve them and be in bondage and serve them 400 years. Then I would judge that nation. That nation is the nation of Rome, the Roman Empire. The nation. Now, it's not talking about individual people. It's talking about the people following that nation like that. This is why I try to get people to understand. So if you understand when people following the nation like that, these are people who is following a certain criteria, church and state. Church, Christianity, which is the highest, which is over all of them different religions under that, besides Muslim, and the little bit of Hindu or Buddha, whatever it is, whatever else. But the main majority is Christianity, church, and state, which is the stuff that goes on. You have to get a birth certificate, social security card, and ID card. That's worldwide. All this is of the Roman Empire. This is Esau. Even though I'm jumping over there right now, I ain't trying to get there, but I'm coming there next. I'm over here right now talking about Jacob, which got his blessing first, but he's going to be in control last. Esau, who got his control last, his blessing last, but he's already in control first. This is what people don't get. The first should be last and the last should be first. The first one got their blessing is going to end up being the last one in charge. The last one that got their blessing is going to be the first one in charge, which they have already been in charge. Greek and Roman Empire is this system. It's Esau. And I don't mean by just Roman or Greek. I meant by the spirit of the situation. People can't see beyond that. So when it talks about the law, don't take my law and don't take my name in vain. The name is actually the law, which is of Israel. The law is spiritual. I'm trying to show everybody this in the spiritual sense. I'm thinking about a new name. The spiritual seed of Abraham. I think that's what I'm going to name it that. I said the seed of Abraham, but I'm going to put spiritual. The spiritual seed of Abraham. Spiritual seed of Abraham. That's the key. Spiritual seed of Abraham. Why is it spiritual? Because all this is spiritual. If you look at the Islam or Muslim nation or whatever you want to call it, that's of Ishmael. If you look at Christianity, which is the satanic religion over the world, that's of Esau and the Roman Empire and the image of the Roman Empire. Then when you look at Israel, the Creator only gave Israel the law, which is in the first 5 books and through the prophets. And that law was good or evil. The blessing and the curses, that's the law. See, a lot of people only look at just the law as in good. The Creator gave good and evil. That means whenever the Creator said, it's going to stand. That's what people don't get. And this is Israel because it came through the Creator, through Israel to give to the world. It all depends on where you stand in it. The spiritual seed of Abraham. Thank you, Father. Hit me straight on. Now, let me keep it moving. Like I said, let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Like I said, look at all the different people who's standing up in these basketball teams, football. Barry Sanders, he was the man on football. The team is the Lions, but they didn't have no team. But Barry Sanders made it happen, and his name rang. A lot of different athletes, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, the only team that you could see that really stuck together was still a team. But the whole point was the Pistons was a team that stuck together back in the day, 89, 90. I think it was nope, 89 and 90. Because 88 was my year when I was dancing. But 89 and 90, I believe, was the year of the Pistons. Isaiah, Bill Laimbeer, Joe Dumars, uh, uh, um, the Spider, which is oh, I can't think of his name. I'm looking at his face. The Spider, Rodman, the Worm, John Sally, the Spider. Then you had Vinnie Johnson, and we also had dang, I can't think of his name real quick. I think that's where they gave Bad Boys came from. I can't think of his name right off. I mean, when they won their first game, they got rid of him. I was like, dang, I felt sorry for him. But he had a bad back too. But that was then. I used to be in the games back then. This is what I'm into now. The knowledge and the spirit of the scriptures. So that was a team. But if you look at all these other people, you've seen Larry Bird, like I said, Magic Johnson, um, uh, all these other different people that stand out. Larry Bird ain't Israel, but yet still, I'm just saying how they stand, how different ones stand out. So just sharing with you on that point of view. But now let's go into Esau's disappointment and enmity. You see that? Enmity. This is the enmity that was actually spoken of in Genesis 3:15. Enmity here and the enmity of the seed of the woman. Excuse me. Which that enmity, it wasn't a woman's seed, just like it was told to Hagar over here in Genesis chapter 16 and 10. 16 and 10, Genesis 16 10, the enmity is actually the seed of the child. When it said, and let thy seed and her seed, the spirit, I still say it's spiritual, even though it was the serpent, I still believe that was still a spiritual point of view. These independent women out here today, these feminists, compared to the femininum and the women of the creator with their husbands. The two difference. The feminists compared to the femininum. The women compared to the females. Genesis 16:10 says, and the angel of Yah said unto her, to Hagar, I will multiply thy seed, talking about Ishmael, exceedingly. That it, see, thy seed. Who was thy seed? Thy seed was Ishmael. It wasn't her. It was Ishmael's seed. I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. Talking about the seed of her son. Not talking about the woman's seed, but the woman bare the son because, remember, Sarah and Hagar, they separated somewhere because it was just Sarah and Abraham. Remember? Remember when they separated, something happened. Because the angel told her, this right here is when the angel told her to go back and submit yourself unto Sarai. But when they was out there in the wilderness, or out there when the three angels came, we hear about nothing about Hagar being with him then. So we don't know what happened. According to within the story, I don't know what happened in between that time. We hadn't heard no more from Hagar. But we did know Ishmael grew up to do whatever he decided to do. So I probably didn't read off into it to really get there. I had to go back and read it some more to find out what happened to Hagar. I know it's in here somewhere, but I didn't go across that. I'm talking about the seeds of Abraham at this point. I'm mainly saying spiritual seeds to give people a better understanding. So now let's jump. But the whole point I want everybody to understand is that this when they talk about and I will multiply thy seed, it's not talking about her seed as in Hagar, talking about the seed of Ishmael. All right. So I just want to get back there to share that. Now let's move on to Genesis 27, verse 30. Esau's disappointment and enmity. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting. He was just going, they just missed each other. 31. And he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. 32. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Who? Can y'all imagine that? Who, boy? Because he knew what he gave. Where is he that has taken venison and brought it me, and I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him? Yea, and he shall be blessed. You see that? And he shall be blessed. I don't say be less. And he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great, exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing. And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? That's what Esau said. Isn't he rightly named Jacob? And this is what I be trying to tell all these so-called Hebrew scholars out here. His name is Yah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yah, woo, Yaha, woo, Yaha, Yaha. I'm like, man, the law is the creator's name. They don't get it. They think the creator is a man. They got to tag a name on him like a color. Pink, red, pink, red, whatever you want to call it. Hot pink, whatever you want to call it. Yellow. You can't name the creator. Not like a man. And when people say God, can't understand what you're saying, but with the closer you try to get to him, saying Yah, which it says in Isaiah, Psalm 68 and 4. Bless him by his name. It says Jah, because you know there ain't no J there. Yah. Even though we know you can't pronounce the name in the tetragrammaton, YHW, we can't pronounce that. Far as I know. They don't have a vowel in it for us to know how to pronounce it. So the whole point is people are still going by what they think, and they practically swearing on it when they can't even pronounce it. The whole thing is his law is his name. No different right here. When Esau said 36, and he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, even though he lied right there. And behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? But make sure if you remember up here, verse 30, in the 33, it says, and he shall be blessed. He gonna be blessed. Whether it's Esau or Jacob, no matter what his name is, he gonna be blessed. And this is why I be trying to get people to understand. But people choose not to have an understanding, and that's on them. 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And we can understand how that probably would have been, or actually how it was. You can imagine how serious this was. But Jacob was a step ahead, excuse me, with his mother. But it wasn't them two, it was the father's word. That's what people fail to forget. The father said what was going to be, so that had to fall in order. 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, and here we go. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. If you notice over here with Jacob in 28, it said, Therefore Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. But over here with Esau it said, and Isaac his father said, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling, where you dwell, where you go, where you stand at, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. Wherever it is, your dwelling is going to be there. And by thy sword, here you go, and by war. If you don't realize that he has taken over by war everywhere he has been, everywhere he went, he take over by war. If he can't swindle you out of it, he's going to kill you, take you out of the way at one time. But he still had to go by law to do what he had to do. Everything he do, he has to go by law to do it. That's why he used paperwork for people. That's why the pen and pad is more stronger today than the gun. He has to go by law. He has to stand by law. Everybody saying, "Oh, Trump doing this, Trump." This is what everybody doing. Trump. Are you going to study and seeing what it is that he's doing and how he's doing instead of listening to other people? This is all people do. That's the problem with our people. Go and see what he's doing and see what he's doing, if it's right or wrong. Oh, he's tying stuff up. People like to talk stuff. What they say? An empty wagon makes a lot of noise. Empty wagon makes a lot of, they don't know nothing, but they do a lot of talking. Now, like I said, whether he's doing it according to law, no, not law. Whatever he's doing it according to the Creator's word. That's what I'm saying. Whether it's of spirit, whether it's of the curse or of the law, according to this law. Don't forget, this system go by legalese. We stand on the law. But let's keep it moving. Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. 40. And by thy sword, by war, shalt thou live. And that's how he do it. That's how he take over everywhere he go. By war shalt thou live and shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass. It shall, but again, over here, 40. The first 2 points, I was going to show y'all something. 25. I'm going to show y'all. Remember I told y'all that the stronger is going to be Esau? But let me share something with you right here in 40 that I came across as I was sharing. In verse 4, it said, and by thy sword shalt thou live. Over here, 25 and 22, 23 that is. 23, it says, and Yah said unto her, two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people. By war shall thou live. That's what makes them stronger. I've been saying it, but this proved my point right here. By thy sword shall thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And that go to the other point. It says, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. That's what he got right here. And by war shall thou live, and shall serve thy brother. You see that? By war, he's going to live. He's going to be stronger, but he's also going to end up serving us. And shall serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass. Now, it's going to come to pass at this point. When thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. He gonna serve us, but when you have the dominion, you gonna break the yoke from off our yoke from off your neck. Remember when Doeg killed all the priests when Saul said, "Kill the priests of the Lord." That was shocking. When Saul told Doeg, which is the Edomite, to kill the priests of the Lord, and they ain't killed just a few of them; they killed a lot of them. That's in 1 Samuel. You have to go and check that out for yourself. But that's the whole point at this point right here. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go into some prophecy. When it came upon a time in Jeremiah, go to Jeremiah first. Jeremiah chapter 25. Jeremiah 25. Right here. Jeremiah 25, verse 15. The cup of wrath of all nations. But before we go there, we got to understand the creative switch. I'm only gonna give you the key point right here. Thank you, Father. The key point, this creative switch. Ezekiel 14, verse 17. Ezekiel 14, 17 and 18, and then, excuse me, late or early, excuse me. 17, 18, and then I'm going to take it on through the 20. 17, 18, and then 21. 21. Because there's 4 judgments that the Creator used. The sword is one. I'm going to give you the sword, and then I'm going to give you the 4. I'm not going to roll the, y'all can read verse 12 through 23, but I'm going to give you 17, 18, and 21 for the key of the Creator's sword and switch. Now, but you can read Ezekiel 14, verse 12 to 23 to understand what his 4 sword judgments is. All right, but I'm going to give you the switch right now of Esau. Esau is the sword that goes throughout the earth doing what he had to do. Then I'm going to take you to Jeremiah 25, starting at verse 15. So, right here at 17, Ezekiel 14, verse 17 states, or if I bring a sword, I is the creator, or if I bring a sword upon that land, what did we just read over here in Genesis chapter 27? By thy sword shall thou live, which is by war. 17 again. Or if I bring a sword upon that land, and they and say, sword, go through the land so that I cut off man and beast from it. That's Esau. It could be any nation, but the sword is the creative switch. Though these 3 men, meaning those who are righteous, these 3 men are examples for those who are righteous. Those 3 men were in it, as I live, saith Yah, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters. That means that your sons and daughters gotta be righteous. Just because you righteous don't mean they're gonna be saved. But that's my daddy. I remember when just saying, I remember when Geno Genies was going against Snoop for whatever reason. He was saying something against Snoop. And then Snoop said, but I know who he said, I know he said he knew what was old boy that's walking around, everybody talking about his name right now. I can't even think of his name. I'm seeing this kind of chubby guy, chubby fat guy. He swallowed something. He swallowed something. But y'all know what I'm talking about. TD Jakes, you know. He said, I know TD Jakes, whatever, you know. They ain't got nothing to do with you being righteous. And I'm not talking about Snoop at all. I'm just saying in general. For example, when it said right here, verse 18, though these three men were in it, as I live, said Yah, they shall deliver neither sons nor daughters, but they only shall be delivered themselves. That means you got to be righteous. I don't care who you are, who you think you are, how high, mighty, or low and poor, whatever. You got to be righteous. And then verse 21. Maybe want to do 17 to 18 to show you who the sword is. Out of the four sword judgment, when you read 12 down there, you'll understand. From 12, from Ezekiel 14, verse 12 through 23. Now I'm going to hit 21 to see the four sword judgment, which is 21. For thus saith Yah, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, which is Israel, wherever we are, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence, to cut off from it man and beast. The Creator used the sword or those four judgments in order to do what he's going to do wherever Israel is. Jeremiah 25, verse 15 now. The cup of wrath for all nations. See, a lot of people, they say, well, you know, we talk about us. All nations went through something. But we are the prime nation that's going to be over the whole earth. All nations went through something. But nobody went through things like we went through. Nobody went through nothing. Even up to this point in time, people still trying to hold us down even though we're rising. They can't stop it. I don't care what nation, nationality, whatever. You can't stop the spirit of the Creator rising in the people. Like I say, this is spiritual. It is physical for those who went through the situation to know who they are and come to know who they are, but it's still spiritual because we're first and it's everybody else who takes on the laws that was given to Israel. And there you go. So, the cup of wrath for all nations, verse 15. For thus saith Yah of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. This is Creator talking to Jeremiah. 16. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad. Be mad. Because of the sword that I will send among them. You see that? Of the sword that I will send among them. The sword, that's one of his judgments, y'all. That I will send among them. Verse 17. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, as Yah's hand, and made all the nations to drink, unto whom Yah had sent me. Verse 18. To wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah. He sent them there first. Why? Because Yah knew first. Yah had the law. The whole world had the law, but it was given upon you to keep the charge. Oh, how do I know the whole world had the law? In the beginning, the first light was the law. The first light, Genesis 1 and 3, was the light. That light was the law. In Genesis 1, 3. Everybody talking about natural light and all this other light, it was the law. The law was the light. And the Spirit carried the law upon the waters. The waters was the people. People have no understanding. But hey, I had to go back through that one day. We ain't there now. We're going to go through that at another time. But right now, to wit, Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them, the kings thereof and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation and astonishment, a hissing and a curse. See that? What did I say? Did I not tell you a curse and a blessing? The Father's law is the curse and is also the blessing, whether y'all accept it or not. The Father's law is the curse and it is the blessing. It depends on where you stand in it. As it is this day. 19. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants and his princes and all his people. 20. And all the mingled people and all the kings of the land of Uz and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon and Azah, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod. And the remnant of Ashdod. 21. Edom and Moab. Did I not tell you every time you see Ib, you're going to see Moab near? Moab is the Moabites. The Moabites are the Moors. That's what Esau learned from the Moors. The Moors was a great nation all around the earth, as far as I know. They became a great. I actually did a post called "Who Are the Moors?" The Moors is from Lot and his two daughters. Matter of fact, Lot and his oldest daughter. That's the Moabites. These are the Moors. And yes, they was melanated. Yes, they was melanated. They was a great nation in the earth. But everybody ain't a Moor because just because the Moor was melanated doesn't mean everybody was a Moor. Moor was just special people. Like Israel is a special people. But you can't tell some of these people that they just stuck in Moors black. And you can't. Some of these people just stuck where they at. They can stay stuck if they want to. 21. Edom and Moab and the children of Ammonites, which is the Moabites, kinfolks, cousins, brothers, sisters. 22. And all the kings of Tyrus and all the kings of Zidon and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea. 23. Dedan and Tema and Boaz or Buzz and all that are in the uttermost corners. You see that? All that in the uttermost corners. Corners of what? The earth. 24. And all the kings of Arabia, you see that? All the kings of Arabia and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert. See, Jeremiah is giving this to all the people of the lands across the earth. And all the kings of Zimri and all the kings of Elam and all the kings of the Medes. You see, had the Medes and Persians back then. And all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world. You see that? All the kingdoms of the world is going to go through this. What they going to go through? Verse 16. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword that I will send among them. 15 and 16, better yet. For thus saith Yah of Israel unto me, take the wine cup of this fury at my hand and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it, all the nations. And they shall drink and be moved and be mad because of the sword, war. The sword is war, that I will send among them. And there we go. Again, verse 26, to back that up. And all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth. And the king of Shishak shall drink after them. 27. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yah of hosts. It's 12 o'clock. All right. 27. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yah of hosts, Yah of Israel, drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall, and rise no more. Rise no more. You see that? And rise no more, because of the sword which I will sing among you. Don't that sound like the Greeks and Romans? Don't that sound like the Greeks and the Romans to come? And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup at thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith Yah of hosts, speaking my name, Ye shall certainly drink. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name. I'm going to bring evil on my city. And should ye be utterly unpunished? Ye shall not be unpunished. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth. You see that? You see that? Everybody on earth going to get it, one way or another. But Greek and Rome took over everything. All seven. That's the seven heads. That's the seven. That's the dragon with the seven heads in Revelation 13 and in Revelation 12. The seven-headed dragon is the dragon is the Greeks. The beast is the Romans. I'm just trying to give it to you. I'm giving you prophecy now. First, I gave you prophecy of what the Creator said and established in the beginning. Now, I'm giving you prophecy of what's coming to pass, what's going to happen. This is what's happening now by the word of Yah through his ambassador Jeremiah or Yirmiyahu, however y'all want to call him. Jeremiah, still what we're looking at. Upon all the inhabitants of the earth, saith Yah of hosts. 30. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, Yah shall roar from the on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. His voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that trend the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. Against all the inhabitants of the earth. Do they understand what we just said? And people still try to pick and choose. Well, the Jews went through this and they went through this, and nobody still ain't go through it like us. 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. There you go. See that? A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth. For Yah has a controversy with the nations, with an S on the end. Yah have a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. Joel chapter 2, verse 28 through 32nd verse. He gonna plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked. See, he will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith Yah. Whoever you are wicked. See, if you notice, he ain't saying non-Israel or with Israel. He said whoever is wicked. If you're wicked, he's gonna give you to the sword. Saith Yah. 32. Thus saith Yah of hosts. Now, thus saith Yah of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. And this has happened, haven't it? It's going on today, as it is either rising or falling. It all depends on where you stand with the Creator. Evil shall go forth from nation to nation, and a great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. 33. And the slain of Yah shall be at that day from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. From one end to the other end. That when the Greek was going around conquering everywhere they went, and then Rome picked up afterwards. Now we talking about Esau, the Edomites, the Roman Empire, the Greeks and the Romans. Both are of Esau. One end of the earth to the next, even unto the other end of the earth. They shall not be lamented, neither gathered nor buried. They shall be dung upon the ground. And that's what war causes, right? Isn't that what war causes? People be getting killed and they just out there, and some people going and cleaning them up, and some of them be out there for the wild, the wild animals or whatever, the birds and the wild owls, what have you. 34. Howl ye shepherds and cry, and wallow yourselves in the ashes, ye principal of the flock, for the days of your slaughter and of your depressions are accomplished. See that there? For the days of your slaughter and of your dispersion, I said depression, dispersions are accomplished, and ye shall fall like a pleasant vessel. 35. And the shepherds shall have no way to flee, and the shepherds shall have no way to flee, nor the principal of the flocks to escape, nor the principal of the flocks, those people who are in charge over the people. You ain't gonna have no way to escape. That time coming too for all those preachers and people in charge. They ain't been doing right with their people. No way of escape, nor no, the principle of the flock to escape. 36. A voice of the cry of the shepherd and a howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard. A howling of the principal of the flock shall be heard. For Yah has spoiled their pasture. 37. And the peaceable habitations are cut down because of the fierce anger of Yah. The peaceable habitations are cut down because of the fierce anger of Yah. He has forsaken his covert. He has forsaken his covert as a lion, for their land is desolate because of the fierceness of the oppressor and because of his fierce anger, because of the Creator's fierce anger. Mm-hmm. That's the end of 25. Now, to add on to this right here, we're going to go to Revelations chapter 6, verse 7 and 8. Revelation 6, verse 7 and 8 coincide with what I just read. And what do I mean? I mean the pale horse. It coincides with everything I just read. I'm going to start with 1 first and jump down to 6 and 7. Verse 1. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. One of the four beasts saying, Come and see. But let's jump over to verse 6 instead of reading all the way down, because these are different timelines. But we can go to the fourth beast right now. 1 verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth beast, the fourth kingdom. Fourth seal, fourth beast, fourth kingdom. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast, say, Come and see. The fourth beast said, Come and see. This is spiritual right here. This is not talking about what. Oh, this is spiritual. Give me your understanding because all this was in a vision. Right? Majority of Revelation was of a vision of John. This was visions that he was seeing. And he was in certain places at certain times for give understanding of what was going on. A lot of people look at this as being real. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. Now, verse 8. Verse 8 is your key. And I looked, and behold, a pale, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. What I tell you, blessings and curses. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed up with him. Do y'all know what hell is? Hell is the grave. Hell is death in the grave. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. Fourth beast of that time. Fourth part of the earth, the fourth kingdom. To kill with the sword. There you go. Now I said, we read it when he said, by thy sword should I live, by war should I live. The sword is war. To kill with the sword and with hunger. He did that as well, with hunger. And with death, and with the beast of the earth. Isn't that what they did with the beasts of the earth as well? And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yah and for the testimony which they held. That was going on while they was taking over Christianity, while Christianity was building up. They was getting rid of the saints. They was getting rid of the saints at that time. But this right here is talking about Esau taking over at this point. See, I'm taking from one point to the next to give you an understanding from one point to the next. So we just read how Esau was going to go through one point of the earth to the other. We just got to give to you the prophecy right here, verse in chapter 6 of Revelation, 1 verse 1, 7, and 8. Now, I will take you to 12 and 13. 12. Before we give you the spiritual aspect of Jacob. 12, which is this is we still with Esau. The great red dragon. Revelations 12 and 3. This is the Greeks. And there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. 7 heads at the 7 continents. The 10 horns are different places set up on the 7 continents, and 7 crowns upon his head. 7 kingdoms. So it might be a kingdom on each continent, but they had 10 horns. They had points of power on those continents, right? And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, which is the Israelites. The third part of them, he drew part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered for to devour her child as soon as it was born. And to me, I still look at us being that child growing, and that spiritually I'm on now. Physically, when they went into the deepest part of Africa, and then in the 90s, they was lifted back home. But I'm talking about spiritually, what's going on with us individually. Remember, I was talking about individual? I know because what I went through spiritually when I was in Europe. I was dealt with confused noise, which you'll find in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5 through 7, 5, 6, and 7. But let's keep it moving. That was the Greeks, the great red dragon. Now let's go to 13, where we break down the information of the beast. This is the first beast, which was 2 beasts. 2 beasts, which is the Roman Empire. You had Old Rome and you had New Rome. Old Rome is from chapter 13, 1 through 10. 11 through 18 is New Rome. First Rome, the first beast. Don't forget the dragon was Greek. I'm going to break that down to you. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast raised up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 heads, 7 continents, 10 horns, which is powers, and upon his horns 10 crowns, the 10 kingdoms, right? And upon his heads the names of blasphemy. This is all religions across the earth and comes across all 7 continents. All of them are names of blasphemy. I don't care what religion it is, whatever. If it's not going according to the law, it's blasphemy of the Creator's word. How is it blasphemy? Because they use the created words for their religion. That's how it's blasphemy. Verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet was as the feet of a bear. And now I always say I don't know exactly what this is, but my point of view is this is either England or British, either British or the English, and the feet was like a bear. And I still going to say that was like the Soviet Union. That's my point of view. I'm not saying that's what it is, and I'm not saying that's what it ain't, because I don't know, but that's my point of view. My point of view. All right. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. I mean, he had great power. Now, right here, the second part of 2 is this. Last part of 2. And the dragon, which is the Greeks, gave him, which is the beast, which is Rome, his power and his seat and great authority. Greek relinquished his seat, his great authority, and his power to Rome. Rome just came in, and then Greek just fade out, and Rome came in and took over. Right here in verse 3. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death. This was Christianity. This is one of his heads. This is Christianity. Christianity is when the Council of Nicaea got up, and for 56 years, they were studying. They kept trying to establish Christianity, but the Arians, they kept disrupting, and this is where the deadly wound was at. Excuse me. Told you all this is spiritual. Excuse me on that. This spiritual. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, which is Rome. The Roman Empire, this is when Christianity came, and all the world is wondering after that because they all is following after who? The image that's coming up in part 2, which is 14 and 15, which is Jesus. That's the image. Everybody looking for some other image, and they right there in the middle of it. That image is Jesus, Yeshua, Emmanuel, or whatever, Prophet Muhammad, whoever y'all want to give. The image is that individual, whoever you want to give it to. But it started with Jesus, or shall I say, it started with Zeus and Ea and Zeus, and then Zeus, and then Jesus, according to the Roman Empire, that is. Now, and all the world wondered after the beast. Verse 4, and they worshiped the dragon, the Greeks, which gave power unto the beast, which gave power unto the Romans, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast? And they worship Rome, saying, who is like unto Rome? Who is able to make war with him? Who is able to make war with Rome? Sparta! All that's still Rome. All that's still Esau. 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. That's Christianity, when they were setting it up. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And to me, that was the Crusaders going around making people accept Christianity. If they didn't accept it, they was killing them off. The Crusaders. 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yah. By what? Saying that this is Jesus. It wasn't no Jesus at that time. It was Christianity, and they was making that. This is where they had excuse me. This is when they had Zeus. That's why you can't think when you say Zeus in the 1611 Bible. 1611 Bible have Zeus. You don't have the word Jesus there, so you don't have an image to that. The image came when Jesus came. You have an image for Jesus. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against Yah, to blaspheme his name, which is the gospel and the New Testament. And his tabernacle, what said the New Testament according to Jesus being God, or he's the Son of God. And his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Them that dwell in heaven, mentally and spiritually. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. Remember, I was just telling you not too long ago, when we just got to reading over here in 6 and 9. No, too far. When it's over here in chapter 6 and 9. Oh, come on, now. Let me just go over that recap real quick. Here we go. Revelation 6 and 9 says, and when he had opened the 5th seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of Yah and for the testimony which they held. These were the saints. And back over here in 13 and 7, 13:7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. This is what happened. This is where Rome was taken over. Verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the world. The Lamb is the spirit upon the children of Israel that kept and keep the law. If any man have an ear, let him hear, and he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. These things going to happen to those. This is coming about now. So this right here is something that was said that's coming about at this point in time. Why? Because now we coming into New Rome. Chapter 13, verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. Another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns. Two horns. I always say this, Democrat and Republican. And he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. The two horns, whichever one won, they spoke as a dragon. And he exercises all the power of the first beast. Same thing. All the same things still happening. It's just that this is just a new government that has rose. And what has happened? This new government is under Roman rule, under the Pope. Not Caesar no more. We under the Pope. Not we're, but the people are under the Pope at this point. That's why the presidents go pay their homage at the time to the Queen Elizabeth. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them that which dwell therein to worship the first beast, Roman Empire, whose deadly wound was healed. Christianity was the deadly wound. It was Christianity. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, which is Hiroshima, and the tanks and the planes and all the wars and stuff that they do. That's what they do. This is all about war. 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. Now, no different than the map. They done changed the map. They done changed all kind of things. These are the different miracles. They said the earth was round. They said all kinds of stuff. Me, I don't know if it's round. I don't think it's round. I think it's more flat than round. But the whole thing is that it's a whole lot more coming out than we know, that we believe, shall I say. Of those miracles which had power to do in the sight of the beast, which is the system. Saying to them that dwell, here we go, y'all. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image. This is your Jesus. That they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Now, let me break that down to you. The image is Jesus. The beast is the Roman Empire. The sword that was wounded, had the beast which had the sword and did live, is Christianity. Christianity, for 56 years, from 325 AD to 381 AD, was being tossed back and forth. It was fighting with the Arians, with the bishops for 56 years. 56 years, they edged out the Arians. Christianity came to be what it is, and then that's where the Pope and all these other people came about, and that's where Christianity started being. The image is Jesus. Your symbol is the cross. There you go. Your symbol is the cross. The image is Jesus. The deadly wound that was healed was Christianity. Christianity is blasphemy of the Creator's word, because they're giving it to Jesus instead of the Creator. You got to put it two and two together to see what it is. Verse 15. And he had power, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. What life? They say Jesus is alive today, don't they? And he had power to give life to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, everything in red, that's Jesus talking, right? Ain't that him speaking? What would Jesus do? And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's what the Crusaders was doing, going around and making people accept that at that time. At one time, shall I say. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark, which is supposed to be, I'm still going to say it's the jab, but the mark, hold on, cause both small, great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Which is either to come, if it haven't already happened, with those that may be in the technology of that. I'm not around that. 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. The mark, which is the jab, I still believe today, or the RFID chip, however you want to say it, or the name and the number, which is the name in all caps, or the number, which is your social security number. Your name in all caps, or your social security numbers. That no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. 18. Here is wisdom, let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, which is the system, for it is the number of a man, which is the Pope. And his number is 600 threescore and 6. A man, not men, and not the number of mankind, or whatever you want to call it. A man, 600 threescore and 6, which is 666. Now, that's Esau. That's Esau in power. All this is Esau. Now we got to find out about Jacob. Now let's understand Jacob coming into power. And as we can see, we go over here to Revelations 11. This is us at this point in time. First, we got to understand how we got to be in the position that we're in. We're the remnant spiritually. So tomorrow I'm gonna pick back up on this too tomorrow. But right now, let's go to Jose. Go to Jose real quick. We got to have an understanding. Jose. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are the hidden things sought up? Well, I guess since since that just came across my sight, that was Obadiah. Here we go. Isaiah 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen? Might as well give you the end point of Esau. Father just hit me with Obadiah. Edom's fate. The book of Obadiah gives you the whole understanding, but Edom's fate is going to be right here. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen. This is verse 15. Obadiah, even though they don't have one chapter, we got verse 15. Edom's fate. Esau, Edom, this day fate. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen. And you see it say heathen, and it just say Esau. Heathen is those who are not keeping his law. You see what I'm saying? It's the spirit. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head, For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain and his people, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. All right. This is the ending of Esau. Now that's just 15 and 16, huh? Oh shoot. And this just 15 and 16. This is Edom's fate. Everything else is good. Now Judah's misfortune. Now what happened to us is from 10 through 14. You know what? I think I'm gonna go across this tomorrow. Israel's ultimate triumph. Yeah, I'm gonna give Israel tomorrow. Right now we are 128 in. So um yeah, I think this is pretty good for Ishmael and Esau and a little bit of Israel. So I'm gonna pick up on this tomorrow. That's what I'm gonna do. But right now I'm just gonna say Edom's fate, which is for the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. See, all stuff you did is going to be done unto you. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. If you notice, it says heathen. It's talking about Esau, but it's talking about those who are in evil. Hold on, let me before this phone go out, let me catch it. It went out on me last night, and this baby is on his like his low. All right, let me hit this real quick, y'all. Excuse me. You're looking dark over here, Instagram. I'll give you some energy before you go. You cut off on me last night. There we go. Okay, Instagram got you back with a little bit of life. There we go. All right. So, since we're right here, we take you back to where I was just about to take you to. Now, again, Edom's fate, 15 and 16. Obadiah 15 and 16. Spirit took me right here, y'all. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen. See, not talking about just Esau, the heathen. These are people that's against the Creator. They're the heathen. These are the Edomites. I told you this is spiritual. A lot of people too busy trying to talk about a physical. This is spiritual. For the day of Yah is near upon all the heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, upon my holy people, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. It's going to be like you never existed. But that time coming. Now, Isaiah 14, real quick. Where we going to hit just verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Everybody want to give him a certain name. Lucifer is of Esau and of Satan and of that seed. All you gotta put them all in the same boat. Evil is evil. That's all I'm trying to say. Evil is evil. Whoever is of evil, you are of that same seed. All of them have names that's pertaining to the same. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Isn't that what Esau do? Isn't that what the war is? Isn't that what war is about? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yah. Isn't that what they want to do? I remember Hillary Clinton said, we put a crack in that dome in the firmament. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Isn't that the way they think? They got all kinds of things. They experiment and all kinds of things, trying to be like the creator. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit, which is the grave. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? The Edomites. I like to just say Caucasian or the people in charge, the man in power. And that's the problem we have with people today. These women, I'm saying these women that think like this now, that's what I'm talking about. They think that all men are the same when we're not even in charge to even put things in certain place. These men are against us, and they try to put a lot of these feminists try to put us in the same position of these heathens that doing the stuff that they're doing. I said, these people, a lot of these women is so backwards, and they want to be back. I remember hearing one woman talking about something, she want to get rid of us. You know what? That the creator put on them what was needed for them, just for them thinking like that. Want to be ignorant. But it was the women that put it in their minds. But hey, it is what it is. It said, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? See, is this the man? It wasn't us that did it. 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyeth the cities thereof, that opened not the houses of the prisoners. Keep the prison. Why you keep people in prison? Because they're getting paid off of them. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. See that? But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. Cast out of the grave like an abominable branch. And as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. So, the seed of evildoers, Esau. Y'all have to understand that. Esau is a spiritual concept of people who does evil. Not, it is a particular man like Jacob. Israel is a particular man, but Israel is also spiritual. Whoever decides to keep the law becomes spiritual. But you got physical Israel as well. You got some people think knowing that they become Israel, but they still out there doing evil deeds. You're of the heathen. So we're going to pick up from here on Mikael's knowledge of truth. Right now, it's the spiritual seed of Abraham, part 1. Part 2 coming up tomorrow. We'll pick up from where we at right here. And on Mikael's knowledge of truth. We'll pick up on there tomorrow. So other than that, I'd just like to say that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. So, I want to thank everybody, excuse me, thank everybody for coming, for who all came. We're going to pick up tomorrow from where we left off at. Today, well, I guess we can say was part 1 of the spiritual seed of Abraham. And the reason why this spiritual seed of Abraham, because we're speaking on Ishmael, Isaac, which is a double whammy, which is Esau and Jacob. So we got past 1, 2, And tomorrow we'll be on the end of 3. We actually got past 1, and I say a quarter 2, which is Isaac, which was actually just giving an explanation. Excuse me, an explanation of Esau and Jacob, because Isaac was really of the two. Esau and Jacob were the two blessed of the situation of the earth. We talked about the earth. We talked about the seed of Abraham, mainly those 4 seeds, 2 directly from Abraham and 2 from the descendants of Abraham, besides the other 12 descendants of Abraham, which is Ishmael. Ishmael had 12. Isaac had 2, plus 1 had 12. And it is what it is, because Esau had sons too, but excuse me. But the remnant of Israel, 12 Israel, is who the promise is through. Excuse me, y'all. Boy, it seems like every time as soon as I get done, it seems like it's just like start hitting me on me as soon as I get done. So again, to like to share with you until tomorrow that I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwell, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. We're going to do the benediction. After the benediction, we'll do the smile. After the smile, we're going to give you a way to keep in contact if you'd like to connect with us at any time and through the dates that we'll be here. Other than that, I thank y'all for coming. I thank y'all for checking us out. I thank y'all for picking up, listening, and seeing. Other than that, this is the benediction in Numbers chapter 6, verse 22 through 27. And it states, this is the priestly benediction, which states, and Yah spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the children unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, on this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, and saying unto them, Yah bless thee and keep thee. Yah make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. Yah lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put my Yah's name upon the children of Israel, which is his law, and Yah will bless them. Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shekevo, Vakuto Violam, Vaed. Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah our Father is one Father. Blessed be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Praise you, Almighty. Thank you, Father, for the word. Thank you for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. Thank you for waking our minds up to the truth of your knowledge and information. We thank you, praise you, and promote you. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah. 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 Thank you, Father. And for anybody that'd like to get in contact with us, you can always, but before I share that with you, if you like to get or join us on the introduction to solving class of knowledge, you're welcome to text or email me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315, or email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. Well, I've been getting tired doing this lately, so what I'm gonna start doing is just sharing with you that all my information will be in the post. My Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Rumble, Patreon, and TikTok. All will be in my post. All these will be in my post. That way you can connect with me because going through all of them, I be really getting tired and sometimes I get the yarn and stuff before I get done. So I just wanted to share that they would be in the post, but you can always go to either one of the posts that you see here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. They would be in my post and you can check it from there. Other than that, I like to say over here on Instagram, we had Plush Shy Sweet. Plush Eye Sweet and One Galaxy 69. They came in for a quick moment over here on Instagram. And over here on YouTube Live, we had that came in. Okay. We got Taylor Gilmore. Hi, I'm glad you came through. Michelle Bliss, 6563. I hope I'm saying that correctly. She said 1,000% or 1,000, yeah, I think 1,000%, $1,000. Got a dollar sign at the end of it. Grace Heavenly Peace, 323. How do you say hi back to me? My name is Benjamin. Like it says, Grace Heavenly Peace. How do you say hi back to me? My name is Benjamin. How you saying, Benjamin? How you doing, Benjamin? Also got Jackson Bogaski. Yes, got thumbs up there. Mark Hut 9918. Ball sack. Oh, I don't know what you mean by ball sack. I got Mark Hunt 9918. Why are you doing the I was saying something at the time. I was saying, I forgot what I was saying at the time, but you have to listen and understand what I said. Please go back and check it out because I forgot exactly what I was talking about at the time when I was doing that. I was doing, I think I was saying evil and good, or the blessing and curses, or what have you. That's what I believe I was doing at the time. Athena Broke said hi, greetings again. Athena Broke, I'm so sorry I had to go to something. I'm so sorry I left, but I'm back. Well, I'm glad you're back. That was part two. Well, we'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. for everybody who came through. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 p.m. At Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. Tonight was Fight Fire with Truth. And tomorrow night at 9 p.m., we're going to be here at the same time with Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, and we're going to pick back up from where we left off. All right. So other tonight, I'm calling tonight the spiritual seed of Abraham. The spiritual seed of Abraham. Other than that, I'd like to thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. I'd like to say greetings to G1. I've seen him back on tonight after a few weeks. I haven't seen him, but good to see you, G1, over there on Zoom. Glad to see you. Hope to see you tomorrow and many other times as well. For everybody else, I thank y'all for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye. If you want to connect with me, please go and look in any of the posts and look at the information in the post. You'll have my name, number, and any of the other platforms that is there. You can check them out. Other than that, I thank you, appreciate, love you, and always. Peace. Want to say bye to Zoom first?